Welcome to this inaugural edition of Influencer Table on RX Radio. Influencer Table is brought to you by Pulse Uganda and RX Radio. It is a special segment in which we talk to people that are impacting the world through their influencing work on the internet. And on this inaugural edition, I am happy to be speaking to a very interesting character. He's an influencer that has many talents, and he's going to be telling us all about it. Today, we're very happy to be speaking to Mr. Bwall. That's his moniker. His real name is Bernard Ewalu Olupot.
Yep.
Some might call him a troll. Others might call him a world changer. What are you? What do you call yourself?
First things first. Am I the first?
Yes. You're the first influencer we're talking to.
Brilliant.
Yes.
Where do I start? Bwall is my,
Is what you call yourself.
Is the name that my parents don't know I own, but it's a name that's most popular out there. Mm-hmm. It's an acronym actually. The first two letters of each of my names. Bernard, Ewalu, Olupot.
All right, very
Brilliant,
clever.
isn't it?
Clever, very clever.
So that's the name that I prefer to be called. That being said, no, I'm not a troll. No, never been.
I don't know,
No.
but if I were to just go through what you say on Twitter, you're very provocative. There's a lot of you attract a lot of attention. There's always a lot of debate surrounding the things you talk about.
For the right reasons.
Usually,
Yeah.
but not always.
But look, it's good to be here. I'm very impressed by these RX, radio. I'm impressed by you guys are doing some pretty good stuff.
Thank you.
I was out there and hearing good things, and I thought, okay, fine, they're okay, but damn, this is good stuff. This is good stuff.
Thanks, man.
I've not been paid for that.
So, on Twitter, you have about 61,000 followers, I believe.
Yeah.
That's a lot. And on Facebook, about 14 or 15,000. So that's a huge footprint you command on social media. So what is it about social media or the internet in general that fascinates you?
How much time do you have?
Well, we can...
Because there's so many things that fascinate me about the internet. Look, it's very interesting to be in one place and be able to A, communicate to thousands of people, and B, change thousands of lives, right? I'd like to think that anybody who gets on the internet has got some kind of goal, or has got some kind of target, or has got some kind of, vision, so to say. Mine has been to reach as many people positively as possible. Obviously, one might think that, positive is a very subjective word, yeah? Because you might think you're reaching people positively, yet you're doing it negatively. But if I check through my DMs or my inbox and somebody says, look, there's something you said sometime and it made me happy, or changed my life positively, or did something good for me. For me, that is that's kind of a reward. So there's a lot that the internet does for me as an individual. Not to mention the fact that I earn quite a bit of money from there. I pay all of my bills off of money that I make from the internet.
Wow.
Yeah. And I survive, I live, I breathe on the internet.
That's quite interesting because, that is our topic today, which is to turn your passion into a source of income.
Yeah.
So maybe you can help to explain to people how it is that they can convert their online experience into something that can be commercialized, and they can earn a living from it just as you are.
I don't think there is an ABC of how to do it. What I do know, though, is there is a number of things that you can do to earn from this thing called the internet. One, and this many people have probably heard over and over, is the niche kind of conversations, right? So if you get online as, say, a gardener, and everybody knows this guy is a gardener, and every day you're speaking about, gardening and things like that, someday people who do business around gardening are going to be looking for voices of reason. They're going to be looking for voices of authority, and therein lies the opportunity for you. Two, obviously touching lives positively. There's all these motivational speakers online and whatnot who make quite a chunk of money actually from some, I don't want to say worthless, whatever, but stuff that you could get pretty much anywhere, right? But because people struggle in their everyday lives and they are seeking for they're seeking for a hand reaching out to them, and motivational speakers provide that, right? So that's another avenue. And then obviously selling your items.
Right.
Quite naturally, if you have a shop downtown and, you have walk-in customers, but you're thinking, how can I get more customers than I see every day walking into my establishment? The internet is a very easy way out. You can sell your clothes, your shoes, sometimes yourself, whatever product you have. Yeah. And the internet gives you some kind of limitless opportunity in terms of the market. Yeah. So yeah, there's I could go on and on.
So maybe you can help to some people understand. There seems to be some division of thought when it comes to impact versus footprint. Yeah. So, for example, you might say, "Oh, here's someone that has maybe 500,000 followers, let's say, and yet they may not be able to make as much of an impact in what they're doing compared to someone who may have fewer but can make an impact, a measurable impact that would be of interest to any business entity or something like that."
Yeah, and it's good you mentioned that, because there's this very misguided illusion that people have that if you have, say, 500,000 followers or 1 million followers, you're automatically somebody who can be turned to sell a product or an item or a service or whatever. But ultimately, you've got to have a sense of authority, right? You've got to have a sense of respect that you garner from people who follow you. There may be 10, 15, 20 people, but if all those 20 people respect you and believe in what you say, you're probably going to impact a lot more than somebody who has 500,000 followers, all of whom have not that much respect, right? So numbers may not be the most telling thing if you're looking for I would say return on investment. The thing, though, and this is something that I keep saying quite a lot, that if I'm selling a shoe online, right, and people know that I'm the kind of person who wears, fine shoes, case in point, the camera can't reach down your back. Yeah, so yeah, chances are, if I talked about a shoe, there's people who'd be like, so I know that guy has good taste in shoes, so he probably can be respected, or I can understand where he's coming from, as opposed to somebody who is not necessarily known for shoes. If they went online and said, "Guys, buy this shoe," there'd be a bit of reservation, right?
They'd be
they've got numbers and whatever, but are they really a shoe person? Would I trust them to give me, advice or a review on a fine shoe? So yeah, the numbers may not necessarily be the finest yardstick for you to measure if somebody will give you return on investment. The exact the respectability that somebody has on the platform is very important.
So let's say, all right, so now I'm on social media and I would like to be an influencer and I have my few followers here and there. Yeah. How do I present myself to a company to say, "Hey, can you let me speak for you or for your brand?"
Yeah. First of all, what are your interests, right? Before you even approach a company or any brand to do any work for them, what are your interests as an individual? What things are you passionate about? Because that is normally the starting point. When you're passionate about things, the thing about influencer work is it works backwards, right? First, you start by creating a brand as an individual before you work with other brands. So once people identify that you're a guy who loves dressing in black, right? You're always in black. Then that becomes, quote unquote, your brand. Then in future, if anybody has anything that has to do with black, you're the first person they're going to reach out to.
Okay.
So first you identify who you are as an individual, present that to the public, and then by the time you go to a brand, it's easier for you to tell them, "Look, I'm the black guy."
Right. Yeah. But isn't that kind of difficult? Because, when people are looking to establish themselves online, they're looking for quick clout. So they will jump onto different trends that they think might gain them a following. Like maybe put out a TikTok dance or put up some spicy pictures.
Yeah.
But so you are being sensational and you are drawing attention, but for the wrong reason.
There you go. And in the short run, you're probably going to tick all your boxes. You're going to hit your targets in the short run. But I can tell you confidently that in the long run, you're going to lose a lot, because brands don't want to work with influencers who are jumping from one item to the other, because you do damage to their brand, right? they don't want to be seen with somebody who today is pro this, tomorrow is anti the same thing. They want consistency, and consistency can only be gained if you as an individual first look inside of you and decide, so these are the things I stand for, these I can work with. And then, you carry that forward today, tomorrow, next week, next year. Someday when brands are looking for people who have that consistency, your name is going to rank highly.
Right.
The challenge with very many people now is overnight success, right? Mm-hmm. And there've been a number of stories of overnight success.
Like you go viral.
Yeah. But those are outliers, and those are the exception, And you can't wake up wanting to be the exception. You don't do that. The exception, it just happens to you. It just happens to you. So you don't wake up and say, "So I want to be an influencer, and this is how much I need to." No, you wake up and say, "Look, these are the things I love. These are the things I'm passionate about. Let me speak about them." Then someday in the future, somebody will say, I like the way you speak about clothes. I like how passionate you are about clothes. Can you push for me this thing? And that is how it's kind of organic.
It pays off in the long run, right?
Really,
to be consistent and to maintain your authenticity.
I will tell you, though, also that when you start, the monies are very small and they're intermittent. They don't come that often. But when you start making good money, it doesn't stop.
Right.
It just doesn't stop.
But tell me, is there not a question about sustainability? So, for example, one can be a hot cake today, and tomorrow there's a new hot cake. There's someone else that's, setting social media on fire, and so your impact and influence is that something that can diminish over time, or is that really just up to you to make sure that doesn't happen?
I think both can happen. It can diminish over time if you don't keep yourself relevant. For example, 10 years ago, writing and reading was all the craze. Everybody did blogs and all these things and whatnot. Today, everybody's doing videos, right? And you've got to be a foolish person to not realize that the internet is very dynamic. Yeah. So you move with the trends. You move with the trends because you don't want to be left behind. You don't want to be the person who clients are saying, that guy's a bit of a dinosaur. You don't want to be that person. So you also have to move with the times. Kids are on TikTok. You can't be the person saying, "Oh, look, I'm an influencer," but you'll never find me on TikTok. Get on it, not because you want to share content, but see what people are doing.
Thank you for listening to this inaugural edition of Influencer Table, brought to you by Pulse Uganda and RX Radio. Over time, we will continue to feature and bring to you more influencers that are out there making a huge impact in the online world. And there's plenty to learn from them. And it's definitely a series that I'm looking forward to being a part of. And I invite you to be a part of it too. Thank you.